Hi Board Gamers, and welcome back to Not Board Gaming. I'm your host, I'm Mark. Now, this is from a slightly different environment. I'm working away from home a lot at the moment, so this is from a hotel room. And what game am I previewing for you today from the hotel room? Well, it's a game that's already hit Kickstarter about a week ago, and that game is The Gig, a kind of jazz band, improvisational jazz band infused and inspired roll and write from Braincrack Games, designed by Rob Smigielski, Lewis Shaw, Jamie Gray, and Dan May. And as I say, it's already on Kickstarter, and it's got a solo mode by none other than David Turczi. So obviously today I'm going to be talking about the solo mode. Now, I was interested in this game. First of all, my wife Neve is a singer. She's played Glastonbury, she's got a number of albums out, etc. And therefore, when Braincrack approached me about kind of previewing this, I was of course very interested. So what I thought I'd do is take you through kind of how the solo plays. I'll not go into too much about how the main game plays, although it's very simple in how it plays, but I'll talk more about the solo, what you do in the solo of The Gig, and yeah, just so you can make your own thoughts up on it and whether you should back it on Kickstarter. As I say, it's live now, and as of today, which is kind of the 6th of June, it's at 98% of its funding, and it's still got 2 weeks to go, so it's obviously going to fund as well. So let me tell you a little bit about The Gig. So in The Gig, you're going to play one of the 6 kind of musicians that are available. We have the brass player, we have the horn player, we have the drums player, the sax player, the vocalist, and the keys. And if you're playing it multiplayer, you're going to roll dice against each other and try to place dice on songs. You see, you're going to be given a set list of a number of songs. I think there are 6 songs, and it tells you what set list to choose for which players. So here we have kind of song number 1, which is Breaking It Down. Now, as you kind of frantically roll and grab these dice, you're going to place them on the songs and try to maximize the symbols and the shapes that you get on there as well. You see, when you complete a particular song, your dice will be placed in a certain shape, and then you can use those shapes on these boards to kind of block out certain areas, score the points, and get the kind of bonuses that are on there as well. So that's how it works in a multiplayer game. In a solo game, you're going to roll your dice, and there's going to be a set of AI dice as well, and there's also going to be a 40-second timer, and you can increase the difficulty, of course, by reducing the timer. And every time you roll your dice, you have to roll one of the AI dice and place them on the song sheet first. And that way, that's got a good way of kind of blocking through as well. And of course, it's going to rack up points onto the scoreboard, which we can see here. And you've got spotlights for points. You get certain abilities here where you're blocking certain spaces off on the song sheets. You can unlock these abilities on your board, and those abilities allow you to increase the dice by 1, or sorry, reduce the dice by 1, increase the dice by 1. Kind of if you haven't got a similar number on any of your dice, then you can choose that number on there. And you also have harmonies at the end of the sheet as well. And if you cannot place any of your dice on here, you can place your harmonies, your dice in the harmonies section here, and that will score you 2 points at the end of each round. However, the AI, if you don't place all their dice, they will score 5 points for each of their harmonies on there. So what I will do is we shall pick a, that's the scoreboard, we shall pick a particular performer. As I say, my wife Neve is a singer, so it seems right that we pick the vocalist. We set the game up. I'll go and get the dice. We've got the songs here, and I'll show you how it plays for the solo player. So here we have everything set up for a solo gamer. We have the 6 song set list. We have 2 scoreboards, one for me, one for the AI. We have my musician player here. I'm choosing the vocalist. The AI doesn't choose a player here. And we have 2 sets of dice, 4 for me and 4 for the AI, a marker pen, and my stopwatch set to 40 seconds. So I'll just get rid of the scoreboards for now, because they don't. It's really about what goes on this right now. Now, effectively, what you're going to do is every round you're going to start by rolling your 4 dice, and you're going to place them on the score sheet to try and cover up certain of these and create contiguous patterns on there. But every time you roll your dice, and you can re-roll your dice as many times as you want, you have to roll one of the AI's dice. And when you roll that die, what you have to do is place that first. So that's going to be a 5. That would go there. Now I've got a 1, a 2, a 2, and a 3. Now effectively, that would create me this kind of pattern here. That would be, I would then be able to use that from my board. And what you do is the starting arrow on each board, for the vocalist it's up here, and then you would draw that pattern on the board, and you can rotate it anyway, so effectively that would do that there. And then you have to join your next pattern onto there. However, as I say, I put that dice up there and I've placed all my 4 die. that leaves them with 3 unplaced die. And what happens when they've got unplaced dice is each of those will score 5 points at the end of the round. So there's actually a reason not just to place your dice quickly in that 40 seconds, but also to try and re-roll their die as often as possible as well, so that you're not left with them getting 6 points. On here, they're kind of a blocking mechanism, although when they uncover those those icons on there, I'll explain what happens in a second, that racks up their score. So that's what happens in kind of rolling phase, and as I say, you're going to have 40 seconds to do that. So when it comes to the scoring phase, so let's just do, I don't know, 6, 5, oh, they placed a 5 first, 6, 5, let's say they placed a 4 as well. I've got another 5 there, I've got a 4, and I've done a re-roll, and let's say that re-roll did a 6 as well, okay? So when it comes to the scoring phase, here's what's going to happen, right? So if this is the AI's one here, we have 2 unplaced die, okay? So for those 2 unplaced die, for their harmonies in round 1, they're going to score 10 points. They're already racking up the points there. But as we uncover what's on here, they will also get the symbol that's underneath it. So there we go, they're getting a red symbol, and we'll block that off there. Now, as you get sets of those symbols, each set of those symbols will cost you 5 points, but you can also then mark off one of those, well, I can, the AI never will, mark off one of those to change the face of my die. So I can get a +1, a -1, I can get a symbol that's not on there, or I can change any die to any symbol that's already on there. So that's what will happen there. And then you also get these spotlight spaces, so I'll show them on there. There we go. There's a spotlight space there for me. There's a blank space, there's a blank space, and another spotlight space. So I've got 2 spotlights, and you also score points for your spotlights there. So you will score 1 point for every one of those that you cover up. But the main thing being, as I say, is you've covered up, you've got this contiguous figure on there of 4 of your dice. That can be anything from 1 to 4 dice that you choose on there. Hopefully you're going to get 2 or more on there. And this gives me an L shape, and I get to put this on here, and I can rotate that any way that I want. But given that it's 2 by 3, I can either go that way, not really, no, I can only go up to there, so I can choose any number of those. See those holes there? I can't go through those, I don't think. Oh, I could go this way. There we go, 2 by 3, and that would give me an additional 2 spotlights, or I can go this way, and that would give me these endpoints here, so 1, 2, and a 3 at the end of the game, and also allow me to mark off the green on my scoreboard there. Then, once that's done, you finish song 1, you will then go to song 2. Now, if at the end of the game I haven't placed any of my die, and end around, I get to put them in the harmonies section, and that will score me 2 points at the end of the round there. But as I say, they score 5 points for theirs on that. So that's kind of how the game plays, and you do that on a 40-second timer. And once the timer's gone down, that's the end of the song, and you're going to score accordingly. You'll do that over all 6 songs, and at the end of the game, you will then tot up your score against the AI score, and then you will find out who's the winner. So as I say, in the solo game, you can do that over 6 rounds, and 6 rounds at 40 seconds a time. You can imagine just how long this game takes to play. It doesn't take a long time at all. Then you will tot up your score. So you're going to get a point for each spotlight. You are going to get 5 points for each of your sets that you complete here. There's going to be points for harmonics as well. And there are also things called audience cards in the full game as well, which can affect the gameplay as well. And for anybody that gets for anybody that gets majorities in these as well, i.e. who's got more symbols, the thing is, what they get is the AI. They get 10 points, you only get 5 points, so there's ways for them to increase their score as well. So that's kind of a really brief overview on the solo game. And why is it brief? Because it's really simple to play. Now, simple doesn't mean bad. In fact, the reason, just one of the reasons that it's been coming away with me to hotel rooms is that it's, it's a really quick game to play. When I've got some time at night and I don't want to kind of do work or watch Netflix or whatever, then it's a great game. It takes no time to set up whatsoever, and I have a really fun challenge. You can play 5, 6 games on the bounce in an hour, of course, and it feels like it takes no time at all. So I'm really enjoying my time with the gig. I think what David's done with the solo mode is create a really nice and effective and simple solo mode. You can enjoy this with your family and friends, or you can enjoy it on your own. And if you've got any kind of interest in music, then it could be a really, really interesting and fun game for you. So that's the gig. And as I say, each one of these, you've got 6 different characters with 6 different kind of boards who are different shapes on there, and you're going to work through those as well, and as the dice come out, it's going to be different every time you play. So yeah, that's the gig from Braincrack Games. As I say, it's on Kickstarter right now, so make sure you go and check it out. If you're looking for kind of a fun kind of filler game, or a simple to learn solo game that something provides, you know, a nice randomized challenge with the dice, then you know you need to go and check out the gig from Braincrack Games. So thank you very much for joining me on this brief video for the gig from Braincrack Games. I say, my name's Mark, this is Not Board Gaming. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Check out our other videos. Apologies, this is from a hotel room, but you know, life is just crazy at the moment. And one final thought, if you can't find anyone else to play with, there's nothing wrong with playing with yourselves. Until next time, bye-bye.